Welcome back to the Troubleshooting Life podcast. I'm your host, Jay Peters, my co-host, Craig Poston, where we talk about various topics, sharing our experiences on life and finances.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Not much. How was your week? Yeah.
It was good. Yeah. Okay. It was, let's say lukewarm. So, let's see, man, what happened this week? Yeah, I was incredibly busy this week. Of course, work. Work is always going to be work. Other parts were like, so I finally got the other property finished up with the renovations and stuff. So the flooring is all good and stuff like that. Had a couple people come by to give it a clean. The first guy, he didn't do that great of a job, but so I got like another crew to come by and they did like a really good job after that. And, just posting out that room for rent, trying to get someone in there so it can, just start making more money on that one. And then, so I was also showing the unit right next to us off to a few people, and I got like someone interested, and they signed a lease like this past week and stuff, but they told me like a few days ago that they wouldn't be able to pay.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have like the money to do like the first month's rent and stuff like that. And because they were like doing like, I guess here in San Antonio, they have what's known as NHSD, which is like a housing support type of district.
Yeah.
Thing. And so like it really depends on like what district of San Antonio we're in. And I think we have like 10 districts. And I guess the property that I'm living at right now, it's like right outside the districts, because like it's literally like right outside of San Antonio too. It still says San Antonio, but we're like right outside the city limits. We're still part of like the county, which is Bexar County. So I guess they weren't going to get assistance from that. They never told me about that. Like they needed assistance to do the movement and stuff, but they signed a lease. So now I'm like in this situation where I have a lease that's signed. People are supposed to be there, and I have to follow the lease just like they do. So I necessarily can't just go in and start showing the place and start doing that. I have to get like some sort of termination agreement set up. But it's just been like a lot of back and forth, or a lot of forth, not a lot of back, because they don't want to hit me up back. Yeah, that's just something to do with. And then just life, man. Other than that, I'm trying to get ready for the wedding. Try to look at some venues, what we're going to probably do today after the podcast, just call up a few places, see what we can do. And I'm just planning out life.
All right, man. Yeah. Congratulations, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. No, that's me and my wife. We didn't do the traditional route. So we missed out on all that, picking out this and that, which actually happens a lot while you're in the military. Like some people, they just go ahead and do get married legally. Like you just go to the courthouse, because a lot of times you're going to be away from family anyway, or you're going to or timeline doesn't work because between PCS and all this other stuff. Yeah. And then I know some people actually, they go through the whole traditional thing, but I don't regret it. I think my wife still wants to do a ceremony. Yeah. So she still wants to do that. So, but which is great by now waiting. I'd say we could probably afford it. Right. So we can actually put the money away and actually have something where we're not in like so much debt.
Yeah,
because that's what you find out with weddings. People get in a lot of debt because they're trying to getting this elaborate wedding, and I know some families actually pay for the wedding, so which actually lowers the debt for the people getting married.
Yeah, because here's the thing: is that if it's a male female like wedding, then the female's parents typically would cover.
Yeah,
this is like how usual tradition. I mean, I'm not a traditional person anyways, so like, I don't really care. I plan on paying for it anyways. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't think eloping is bad, because like you said, there's so many situations, especially in the military, at least, that there's like typically no families around except for you and the person you're with.
Yeah.
Right. So like it becomes fairly inconvenient with the military. Everything's dynamic. You can be deployed. You can like be on different shifts that are like conducive to it. May not be guaranteed leave to do the things you want to do. So yeah, eloping might be like the most consistent way to do it, or easiest way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, it just worked out our situation. I think we're going through basic training, and AIT, and then the next step would be orders getting cut and you go somewhere. If you don't make a decision and decide to marry the person that you're with, right? What happens is they get left behind, and then the chances starting to lessen that this may happen, because if you start getting busy with your career in the military, which that can happen, because your first duty station, you can get deployed as soon as you get there. So you never know your situation, which was funny because that almost happened. I almost got deployed as soon as I got to my new duty station, but somehow the deployment fell through. And then it happened the following year, which I'm glad it happened the following year because I could plan better. And it turned out better because I was able to move my wife and daughter back to Texas so they could be with their family. And that way I didn't have to worry about them. Like that was just one piece I didn't have to worry about. I just made sure they had money, had the things they needed. Any bills were all covered, and then at the time that everything just worked out just like that. So it wasn't where you could just go like, all right, hey, I don't want to deploy. I want to get married, or I don't, what I'm saying? It's not, you don't do that. You just kind of,
you don't get the you do what we say.
Yeah.
You get no say. So.
Yeah. So it seems like in that situation, we made the right decision because, I think things would have moved so quick that we wouldn't have had time.
Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people don't realize that the point of getting married isn't to do the ceremony; it's to be married.
Yeah.
So, I'm like one of those people. I'm not like a big lavish spender, or not a spender much, if any. So like, I don't mind getting eloped or anything, but like I also wouldn't mind like having like a wedding ceremony and stuff. But like I also don't care like who goes.
Yeah.
Like as long as like me and the fiance are there, then I'm good. Like I don't care who else is there. Yeah, no, that's just like my views on it.
Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, so I guess for me, I have to talk about the goals because my birthday, it is past it now, 2 days past it. So I want to say I don't want to say I did not make all my goals, but the reality is I did not meet all my goals. I did meet majority. I would say that I put to, because one, in reality, I made only one goal, but the thing had subtasks under it. That's kind of
like milestones.
Yeah.
Like that.
So the number one goal and only goal really was to buy investment properties. I put the word S in there, or for properties, and that's where I messed up. I didn't meet properties.
Yeah, right. Put the parentheses on there.
Yeah, I know. I should have did it that way. And then, there was like sub goals like save 80K. I knew that was a reach, but the whole point is to push yourself, right? So I knew that was a reach. And then like analyzing 100 properties, that was kind of hard to do because you got to sit down long enough to do all these things.
Yeah, that's a lot. Like even if you did one property a day, that's 100 days. That's a third of the year.
Yeah.
So just to analyze them. I mean, like, of course, it'd probably be quicker as you continue to do them and do them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things to kind of look out for. And especially if you're like, if you haven't done it before and if you haven't like taken action on them, but it can be hard.
Yeah. I think actually buying a property, it actually made it a little bit easier to understand why you should analyze it. I didn't get a bad deal, but the thing is now when you look at everything that goes in it, you have to kind of pre-plan just a little bit. Like, if you're going to do a property manager, knowing how much their fees are, the market rents,
maintenance,
maintenance. If anything needs to be replaced,
capital expenditures.
Yeah. I was trying to think of it. It was one more thing that I know I was that I'm noticing like while you do it. But the thing is, if I didn't just take that first step, I don't think it would have clicked in my brain to understand about why you should analyze it. Because just like knowing if here are the fees of the property manager, here's the market rent that it's going for. And then all your, like you said, your maintenance fees for something that you're going to replace, or if it's any updates or all these different things, you gotta sit to the side and try to make sure that you're going to have money for this whole project that you got going on. And then it made me like, understand loans a little bit better. Because another one goes like finding banks that fund projects. Pretty much, I guess if any bank, likes you as a client, will probably fund your project. Besides, doing a private money lender or something like that, where things are a little bit different, where you work out a different deal. Another one was like meet other investors. And that was, like I said in the last podcast, I was going to go to this investor meeting. Yeah, it was the Alamo Rio, I think that's what it's called. It was pretty cool. Not what I expected, but what I expected. So, but it was, it's pretty good though to go to some type of networking event. And I saw how they were doing it, where they just like, they had a section where you just, hey, what issue you have? Yell it out to everybody, right? And then like, hey, do you know such and such? Or do you know like as a plumber, or do you have a good real estate agent, or you have a good tax attorney? It was definitely informative and enlightening of what with trying to do this. So I'm kind of glad that you sent me that link, because I'm glad I took the action, to go ahead and just register. And I was just like, no, I'm gonna register right now. I don't care if I don't know if I can make it. And I made sure I made it, even though I was late.
Yeah. Yeah. You already know me, man. I'm tired of the party all the time. So
Yeah, I was, I mean, because we still had family stuff going on, and but I still made it. I made because I still had a good hour and a half to actually be there. So I'm glad I took advantage of it.
yeah.
Yeah, and then getting my contacts up too for like contractors, real estate agents, and I think that's going to be always ongoing. Like we constantly meet people that where you're finding. So like yeah, I started that, but I do need to make it organized where I got like a book where with all the cards or written down numbers. Yeah, pretty much. Man, I know nowadays no one has a black book. Everyone uses their smartphone to do everything. You just load it up, but just having it on hand just in case, because I don't know if you ever had this issue when you go get a new phone, somehow you lose all your contacts. Like even though like you're supposed to like save everything and then transfer it to the new phone. I think my last adventure with that, I tried saving it. Something happened where it didn't finish or something like that. Didn't transfer properly, and then like I went to go get the new phone. They tried to transfer for me, and I think it exited or something before it could finish, and I'm just like, just give me the phone. And then so I had no contacts, only some contacts because I did partially save to my laptop or whatever.
Yeah. So with me, I do like the Google stuff. So Google Drive, Google Contacts, they'll keep like everything there, and then you can reload them.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty simple. I mean, it just takes a little bit of time to do it. But I'm also team Android versus like team Apple. So
yeah,
but that's probably why mine is integrated a little bit differently than yours is. Because I have seen it on Apple, and I used to have an Apple, and I will say it was a little bit more difficult at that time. But this was like maybe 10 years ago, or like 8 years ago when I had an iPhone.
Yeah, I do have an Apple, and I think it's because it's one of those things you have it and you just keep going instead of just switching. You just like, all right, I'll just get another one when that one dies or whatever. Because I'm not a big upgrader. I'm just my phone's paid for. I'm just gonna keep it till I have to upgrade again. So that's usually my idea with cell phones because I mean it's a cell phone. It does its job.
No, I agree. But I mean, I'm definitely like high as like some of our conversations like it was on my phone or like I'll just be on the app on it because it just makes it more convenient. Like I don't have to have my laptop in front of me. And stuff. So so for example, like coming up with stuff for the podcast, I can just do it from my phone. I have like a lot of tasks, a lot of Google calendars, stuff like that. And at least from an Android perspective, there's like a lot of widgets you can use. And you can like have the calendar up on like its own page. You can have like all your tasks up on its own page. I have like my Audible out there, my Spotify, like I have little notes things. So like if I'm listening to something or if I hear something I need to like take a note real quick, I'll do that. And then like, I mean, granted, and we kind of talked about maybe like a podcast or two ago where like we have like physical books that we write stuff in. Even like you said, like your black book. And sometimes like I'm not near the book and I'm like, crap, I don't know. Like it was like someplace else, like say it's at home when I'm at work. I'm like, crap, I need it like now. So I'll typically like take pictures of it or just like have some sort of other copy of it somewhere.
Yeah. That's a yeah. No, that's a good way to do it. Yeah. Besides that, I think now I have to create a new goal so I can continue this birthday resolution goals because I think it was a little bit different. And I actually was keeping up with it. I think sometimes when I do what's that New Year's resolution, I don't always keep up with it, even if I have it on my wall or whatever. But this one I actually was keeping up with so I could see what I can do. I'm gonna probably do the same thing again. Probably make some goals where it's gonna be a little bit unreachable just to see if I can do it.
Yeah,
because you don't want to execute all your goals because then it's like you didn't make them hard enough. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, not to say you're doing it because not reaching them because of laziness, but if you can't reach it because the time frame didn't work out or the amount that you were trying to save just didn't work out because of the fact that things come up, especially if you have a family. Just like our AC, for some reason it went out, it's a new AC, by the way, but come to find out it was a fuse, and it's just, certain things like that pop up, and guess what? You still got to pay for it. Yeah,
There's a lot of variables that you don't necessarily account for when you just write down the simple goal of like, let's say, get a six pack, right?
Yeah.
Well, you don't put on there like hit the gym X amount of times, eat a certain amount of like a diet, right? Make sure you're still moving around even if you can't go to the gym.
Yeah.
But that, like, you don't necessarily write down everything. So, which is like, I guess, a different take on goals. Like if you write something down, like analyze it to the point to where there's nothing that'll keep you from that goal. But I mean, like most people wouldn't do that anyways.
Yeah.
And most people, if they do that and they see everything that you had to do to make that goal a reality, they probably wouldn't even start. Like they wouldn't even try it. So to me, like there's like what's called ignorance is bliss, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not knowing everything that has to go into it is good, because at least you start, at least you're going through it, at least you're working towards it, and now you can kind of gauge while you're going through it, like, well, I may not hit it, but I'll be able to hit this amount, and maybe for the rollover goal or the next milestone, I can just push it out a little bit further.
Yeah, because I kind of heard that with the entrepreneur. I can't remember who it was I was listening to on a podcast, and like she was actually, it could have been the woman that did Spanx, and I think that might have been it. But
Sarah Blakely.
Yeah, and I think one of the things she said that she's kind of glad that she didn't know the normal process to do something, because she might not have done it, because she basically just went forward with her own process. She didn't follow the normal path that all the other people did to get their product in the store. She kind of just like came up with her own way to do it. And it was because, well, like you said, ignorance is bliss, right? She didn't know. It's not that she wasn't smart. It's just the fact that she just didn't know the normal process.
Yeah. And she's great. I definitely follow her as for like business and stuff like that, because I think she's like just a great business person. She started like really young, like you said, doing Spanx and stuff. And then even her husband, Jesse Itzler, he's a really like smart guy on business and like life and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that, I guess it could go along with our title too, right? Be an opportunist, or or let me actually pull this up so I can get the right title that we actually named it. Well, actually, that is it. Be an opportunist. All right. Again, I got it right. Yeah. We actually do try to write a script. Following it, not so much.
It's a terrible script.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, that's what's going on with my life and goals. Still trying to troubleshoot life as always. Trying to get better every year. That's always the thing. Regardless if it's career or it's investments or it's family related, it's always trying something new and seeing what works. Yeah.
How's the kids at basketball?
They think they're superstars, but so they enjoy they enjoy it, right? So that's it's pretty funny, especially watching my son play basketball. It's actually it's pretty funny.
MJ tongue out. He's like,
no, he's not there yet. But he's just to see them take off though, like they take off running and they don't know all the
plays positions.
Plays position or like the calls. So I don't know. Yeah. And then we had one rep that he was actually calling something they never called before. Like, so if they fall to the ground and they have the ball and they don't dribble when they get up, they call travel. Yeah, normally in basketball, yes, you call it travel. But like, they were like, just let them play, right? But it was good. They learned something new because my son, he caught on quick. The next time he fell to the ground, he made sure he passed it real quick before he jumped up. Yeah. So
he did.
Yeah. So like, I think they're enjoying it. So I'm kind of introducing them to my world of how I enjoy basketball. I've been showing them. I showed them and one. It was
okay.
Yeah. They had a Netflix documentary on what happened. Kind of like what happened to and one.
Yeah.
All right. The rise and fall of and one. That's what it's called. And I was telling them how like basketball was so exciting. Felt so exciting back in the 90s because how it was. And then like we're watching was it the All-Star game last night or the start of the three what is that? Because they do 3-point shooting, dunk contests, and
Yeah.
I guess this other obstacle where they go around. But that was last night. But tonight it'll be the actual All-Star game.
Mm.
But just letting them know like how much I like basketball, and they really don't know how much I used to play. Like I used to play literally every day.
Yeah.
And it's funny being an adult and I can't do that every day. I have to like
Yeah.
intentionally plan that, That's like
Gotta make sure you're warmed up. Make sure you don't break.
yeah, I know, right? We never worried about being warmed up. You're like, all right, let's get started. And just play.
Cold, bro.
Yeah, and play all day. And like
Yeah.
now I probably can get a couple of games in and go like, all right, I gotta get out of here. I'm in pain, or I got something to do.
And you start wheezing.
Yeah.
It's only half court.
Yeah, I know, right? That's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because to do full court, I always have to get back in shape because, like,
Dude,
just again, when it comes to basketball, to me, it's like being an opportunist because, like, you're literally looking at how another player is playing and you exploit how they play, right? You like, okay, all right, they leave themselves open right here. They don't know how to guard the ball right here. You're like, yeah. It's like
they can't go left. They ain't got no left.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, being an opportunist can be used in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah.
I think I really understood it when I was going through AIT, and then had this NCO like mention to me right before I was going to Fort Bragg. He like, take advantage of all the training that you find there because that's a base that actually has a little money to actually give their people, which I found out that is not always true. They don't always have money, but the training is there. Yes, that is true. But I think that kind of woke up the idea. I think I've been maybe a opportunist at slightest, right? But like when it came to that, understanding that you see anything, any type of training, any way to make your life better, it's just anything that can improve even the people around you. To me, you're being an opportunist. You're taking advantage of what's there, right? Yeah. And I guess what is our first point, right?
So yeah. So kind of just define, like, to me, it's very important to define what we're talking about, just so that everyone understands exactly what you're talking about. Because people could hear opportunist and they could hear like a negative connotation or a positive connotation. So when we say opportunist, we're talking about opportunist as someone who is always on the lookout for opportunities and who is willing to take risks in order to seize those opportunities.
Yeah, because I hate that it was, that it has that negative type of thing on it because it really is not true. And that we were talking about it earlier, and maybe it was formed from people who are, maybe had more of a jealous outlook on it, or if maybe at some point in time that they were in a bad situation that they felt taken advantage of, maybe, and that's, why this definition is, because like that was the first thing as we were looking it up, the first thing that pops up is like, it's negative, like, and which is, as you keep reading further, you'll see, or if you find more articles, they talk about it in a more positive way than such a negative way. Yeah. So now, what like the benefits of being an opportunist, right? Such as the ability of taking advantage of new, exciting opportunities, the potential for personal and professional growth, and the ability to create positive change in the world. Like, what do you think about that?
So I mean, I'm not sure if I'm like necessarily an opportunist. I definitely do try to take as many opportunities as possible. Like the opportunity to join the military because I knew that they would be able to help me get a college education to where I wasn't able to, or not saying I wasn't able to, I did not receive anything from the opportunities I took to get like scholarships and stuff. Like I applied to scholarships, I just never got them. And it's not like I didn't have opportunities to go to school without going to the military. I did. It's just not the way I wanted to do it at the time. So, being able to join the military, being able for them to pay for my schooling, and then it even like learning opportunities, right? When I joined the reserves here, I had a leading petty officer, like the NCO that was above me, and he kind of sat me down and talked me through some stuff. Like if you want to get into the like IT or cyber fields, then school is great. Definitely continue to go to school, but certifications and stuff like that will help you a lot more, especially in like here in San Antonio or in the spaces that we're in right now. And I took that. I took that to heart. He told me like what to do or like what certifications to get. So I just started studying. Took like 6 months to get them, and then I started working in the field. Like it was just like an opportunity to take advantage of it. And I'm like, and granted, I knew like nothing about it other than like what people told me.
Yeah.
Uh, and like I definitely don't regret it either. Being able to take those opportunities to learn, uh, get the certifications, and of course, getting my degrees and stuff like that. I wish I would have taken more opportunities. As in, and I think we've talked about it before, where like a lot of people, they go into college and they don't necessarily realize that there's an opportunity to network with a bunch of people that either have like-mindedness or that have a different mindset than you do. And that could like also help you grow just in life in general. Like it'll help you grow like relationships that you want to like for friends or like professional relationships later on. Like say if you met someone that becomes like a lawyer, becomes like a real estate agent, um, becomes an accountant, whatever it is, right? You could use those relationships, not necessarily use those relationships, but take opportunities from those relationships to learn and grow from those.
Yeah. Yeah. So I definitely agree with that, because that's exactly how I picked up my IT career, is with taking advantage of all like the situations that were around me. I probably mentioned to you, I'm not sure if I mentioned it on the podcast, but like basically when I was in Germany, the unit actually had, well, it was actually meant for more than just our unit, but we actually had access to this. It basically IT classes on tap pretty much. We had it was like a civilian led, and they would actually just have Windows classes, Microsoft Server classes, that have basically VMware classes, that CompTIA classes. Like they just constantly every month, like this long list of classes that as long as you went through like the proper channels to get there, you can actually spend a week or two training and then take the certification at the end of it. So, and this, as I found out, when you go other places, that is not true. Everything is kind of on you. Like even when I got to San Antonio, was at my unit, basically I had to kind of build up myself. They have classes and they do things, but it wasn't on the regular. It was more if it's something that you're interested in, you have to let somebody know. And basically how I would do it, because we have access to take the exam, so you can get vouchers to take the exam. And when I saw, basically I would log in, look at the site, and if they say they had some expiring vouchers or whatever, go like, all right, well, I'm kind of interested in that. Let me go through the proper channels, whoever I've got to talk to, and have them send me that voucher so I can go ahead and take this class. I mean, not class, but take the exam. And then the studying part is on me. All right. So then that, which I did enjoy that about being active duty, that was available, like, what I'm saying, all the time, as long as you went online, saw what you needed, and then talk to whoever you need to talk to. Then, but again, it's the same thing, opportunity. Not everybody paid attention to that. All right. One of the reasons why I knew about it, because part of my job was being information assurance. I had to use this certain site that they had all the time. And what was on that site? Expiring vouchers. This is what's expiring. But every time it's always something. I see something and take advantage of it, because you can see something and not take advantage of it. It can be in front of your face all the time. I remember when I first moved to Texas, it was a long time ago. And we were living in, it's Dallas. I might as well say Dallas and not all the little cities, right?
Yeah.
And basically I worked at Dave and Buster's in Frisco, which is near Plano. And one of the questions I asked somebody is like, why didn't you do such and such? But I think it was because they were used to being there and not realizing all the opportunity that was around them, because they were just so used to it. It was there, right? Me coming from Mississippi, where it was like, very little opportunity about growth and figuring out something you want to do. And when I got there and just saw how the universities were, I mean, they was so much better at trying to inform you how to build your career and all this. And I was just like, man, this is, again, one of those things like, all right, opportunities that you take advantage of because it's right there in front of your face, that's kind of like how I see a lot of things is if you don't take advantage of it, then you're just, I guess, you was that squandering it, right?
Yeah, squander.
Yeah. You're not living your life at your best potential because you're just letting certain things just slip right on by.
I definitely agree.
Yeah. And then I see we have share success stories. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, huh?
I'm trying to look at a few, but there's like a few. So like, so I can't remember the specific names. I actually look them up right now. But there are like, let's say NBA players, right? They get what's known as the 10-day contract, right? Where and you may know more about it than I do because I haven't really watched basketball in a long ass time.
Yeah.
But it's where a player gets an opportunity to play on an NBA team for, I guess, 10 days. And out of that opportunity, they're afforded or able to get an actual contract with the team to, stay on the team full time for however long that new contract is up.
Yeah. So I haven't followed it to the point of like understanding the contracts, but that's actually pretty cool though, because it's like giving you a chance because not everybody goes straight to the NBA from college or from high school. Again, it's a rare opportunity because the people that you're going up against are in a sense like number ones, right? The number ones in their area. And if you're in an area that wasn't, just you had all these very talented people to play against, then your skills may not be up to par with some of those people. But given the opportunity to see if you can cut the mustard, right? I think that's pretty cool, which is the opportunity that anybody should take advantage of if you are in that position, right? And maybe that's the thing, though, right? When it comes to opportunities, maybe people aren't, or they feel like they aren't in the position of taking advantage of certain things, and hopefully, even listen to this, right? That they take from it that it's not a negative thing to be an opportunist. Yeah, and I guess with the definition, right, is usually the negative part is where you have no regard for other people when you take advantage of things. And maybe that's the thing, right? They call it negative because of that. But I mean, if you're not harming anybody or you're not, doing anything that's illegal, I mean, I feel like when it comes to being an opportunist, you should take advantage of everything, right? Any and everything. I'll say that. Yeah. And I guess one of those things you won't know, right, until you've actually tried something and to see that, okay, this is not working out. This is harming my family. Like, because I could see being an opportunist where it actually harms the family. You're neglecting them, right? You're not spending enough time with them. You're not helping your children grow, mentally, physically, whatever, right? You're not helping them. But you're taking advantage of everything else. Like you're at work constantly because you're taking advantage of ways to grow yourself at your career, or if you're an entrepreneur, right? And you have multiple businesses, you're all everywhere. You're all over the place. You got to network. You got to do these different things, which is, again, could cause some of your opportunities to neglect your family, which, when you find that out too, when, you hear that an entrepreneur is like no longer with their spouse because they don't spend any time with them anymore because that's the thing. They're trying to get out there and build something. All right.
Yeah. And I think like some people don't realize that like when you take advantage of opportunities, you could also lose a lot of opportunities as in, so like say in a house, right, there's X amount of doors, but you physically can only go through one of them.
Yeah.
Right. So the doors that you don't go through may have other opportunities that you just didn't see or didn't take advantage of. So if your opportunity is towards like your professional life, then your personal life may take a hit. Your romantic life, your social life, whatever it is, your health may take a hit. And it's just knowing, when to take advantage of certain opportunities over others and really what's important to you or like important for what you feel is your future life goals. And then they kind of go into some of the 10-day contracts. So I was kind of looking into a few of them, and so like some of the notable 10-day contracts are like there's this cat named Sean Livingston. So back in like 09 and 2010, he signed two 10-day contracts with the Wizards, and did really well. And then he moved to the Golden State Warriors, and after 2014, they won 3 championships with them. So I mean, and these are like opportunities other people get. Like it's not like just once in a lifetime opportunities. I mean, they may feel that way because very little will get them. But even in the NBA, they also have they also have what's known as the G League, right, where people that aren't, that they didn't get accepted for the NBA, but they're still very talented people and they still want to pursue that career.
Yeah,
they can play in the G League and maybe get afforded the opportunity to play for the actual NBA teams like the Warriors, the Wizards, the Spurs, whatever it is.
Yeah, no, that's actually pretty cool. I guess our next one, right? Yeah, we were talking about provide practical tips on how to be more opportunistic. I'll try to get that out. Get all my syllables in there. Such as being open to new experiences, networking with others, and being willing to take calculated risks. Sorry.
Yeah. We've kind of been talking about it throughout here, right? So like, it doesn't really matter, like necessarily where you're at, like physically. I guess there's always opportunities around you. You just have to, be open to them or be able to see them, right? So like for like your examples where there were opportunities around, not just you, but of course other people, and they necessarily didn't take advantage of those opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't know about them, as in like they weren't aware that those training opportunities were available, or they knew they were available, they just chose not to take them because something else took precedence. Let's say like, they had like trips or they had leave or they had something else that took precedence over those training dates.
Me, when it comes to that, I guess taking calculated risks or networking opportunities. I mean, again, just like how what I was saying at the beginning, when you sent me a link, I jumped on it immediately. Well, I actually take it back, not immediately, but I did sign.
Hey everyone, quick interruption. I just wanted to say from both Craig and I, thank you for taking the time to listen to us and our random rambling about life. If you have enjoyed this and think even one other person will enjoy this, then please share out this link, whether you found us on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other platform. It costs no money and little time, but would have a great positive impact for our podcast and brand. All right, enough with the shameless plug. Let's get back to the podcast.
Yeah, so, I didn't take advantage of your link immediately, but then I actually did go and sign up for it. So I kept receiving the emails. And then when I finally saw one that actually fit my date of networking, go to a networking event, which is conveniently before my birthday. So when I hit my goals, that it would actually be one of the goals that I met. I signed up and, like I said earlier, didn't know if I was going to be able to make it, but then I was like, I'm going to figure a way to make it. And I think I showed up like maybe 30 minutes or an hour late, something like that. But I still had time to meet people, talk to them, get some advice. And then know that it's something that I would want to continue doing, where I would want to come back and meet other people again. Because they shared a lot of good information. And you can tell some of the people knew each other, this has been going on for a while. Yeah. So, try to get into that community would actually I know it would benefit me as becoming a real estate investor, because this is the part I'm trying to work on right now. And there was other things I want to do. Like, to a certain, at certain point, get into business acquisitions, but first learn how to build assets and build a small business with with real estate, and then move on to bigger and better things. But it all starts with taking advantage of the first opportunity so it'll snowball into something better. I know I was looking up earlier some tips that they had on how to become an opportunist. Yeah, so like I think this one here had like seven different things here. It was like mix up your routine, do something a little different. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Do something spontaneous, which is also out of your ordinary, right? Out of your say yes when you would normally say no.
Yeah.
And that definitely does change things. Because I know even to say someone asks you to go out during middle of the week, right? That's not your normal routine. Just say yes, just so you can do something a little different, break up the routine.
Yeah.
Also, to me, it helps the brain, right? If you do something a little different, then you realize that it's a routine that you're stuck in or a rut that you're stuck in, but then you do something different and it kind of like, it expands you on another level, right? Give. So I guess in this sense, we're saying pay forward, help somebody out, and maybe give some advice, different things like that. Be the change you want to see. So keep an open mind about certain things, just so you can take advantage of what's around you. That I say that's something too that I've changed about. Not having such a fixed mindset, having more of an open mindset about certain things.
Yeah.
Because if you shut down too quick, then you don't even realize the opportunity because you've already
you've already closed the door.
Yeah, exactly, right. Have a little fun. That also opens up a lot, right? Because if you're a person that doesn't like to have fun, then you're definitely not going to meet new people. Because just even going to a local bar, I'm not condoning to drinking, so not everybody has to drink. But the one thing that does happen, you do meet new people, you do communicate. If you had a story to share or whatever, right? It's all there. It also said say what you feel, right? In this one, it's saying I guess with not staying with your emotions, not staying so locked down. And I guess that does open up. Yeah, I guess that would open up a new opportunity, right? Even if it came to dating, right? You like, hey, you tell somebody up front, no, this is how I live my life, right? This is how I do things.
Then you end up single for the rest of your life.
Hey, at least you don't waste time. You like, because that is precious. Time is precious, man. Like,
no doubt. For me, like the saying yes instead of no definitely helped me a lot. For like just personal and professional growth, as in there were things that I may not have known how to do, but I would say yes anyways, and I would just figure it out, right? And it would help me a lot because like, and it was things that like, other people just didn't want to do. Like I say in our line of work, right, doing like patches for systems, right? And I may not have known how to do that specific patch or whatever it is, but going through it, helping through it, making sure other people understood it, communicating back to like developers on how it can be done better or how I feel it could have been done better, interfacing with customers on how they feel it went, if it improved their experience of the software or of the system, and then also relaying that back, like making sure that just taking advantage of everything people needed help with. Like if I feel someone didn't understand the system, then I would take the opportunity to train them, right?
Yeah.
Or and if my training wasn't the best, then I would try to structure it a little bit better. I would tailor it to be a little better. So it's just like, and I think like Elon Musk talks about it a lot, is that always look for improvements. Like everything can be improved on, and never think that anything is perfect. And just keep saying that, hey, how could this be better? Or how could it be faster? How can it be more sleek? So like, for example, like writing a book, right? If you read a book once and then you go through it and it feels like a little too long, you feel like you're belaboring the point or you're going too in depth on a certain thing, you can just try to make it better, right? Make it shorter, try to get to your point quicker, maybe expound on certain examples, whatever it is. So I think, doing the say yes instead of no. At some point, you do have to say no, or you have to do the yes but type of thing, or yes and, as in like, or it was points where I took on too many things, as in I was doing too many jobs or too many tasks that things weren't necessarily getting done, or they weren't getting done at a good quality. So what I had to start doing was saying yes and or yes but, as in yes and I'll need someone's help, or yes but it'll take me a little bit more time because I have this going on, right? So instead of saying no, I'll still say yes, but I'll like caveat it with something else just to give it like a better expectation, and it's also better for a better quality product.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's continue to do doing something spontaneous. That's something that I know that always mixes up the day, right? Doing something you don't normally do, you get out of that routine. Yeah, because I guess it's still along the lines of saying yes too, right? Someone asks you to go out, or if say you go to another side of town and you go hang out at a restaurant there, or go hang out at a bar there, or or go to Barnes and Noble on another side of town, right? Like just doing something totally different that you wouldn't normally do. And I guess
instead of you go into someone else's place, they come to your place, something like that.
Yeah. So like all of it kind of leads to a new opportunity, maybe, or even just thinking differently. All right. Like, so yeah, being spontaneous, that's one of that I'm trying to add more into my life because of the fact that I know that it mixes like that number one, when we said it mixes up your routine, but that doing something spontaneous is really what it is. It's just go try something totally different, a new trail. Cause you never know, like it just wakes the brain up, right? Anything, just having a whole new mindset about doing something you really wanted to do, but I mean, maybe you were afraid to do it, or maybe it never crossed your mind. But yeah, I think the doing something spontaneous actually and I know there's something else that maybe it didn't talk about this one because I picked this article, but learning something new, right? That's actually to me where it kind of forms that new opportunity. Just picking up a new skill, because if you think about it, right? So say if you never welded before, right? But you learn how to become a welder. Guess what? You've just learned a new skill, but you can also create an opportunity. What if someone just needs a part-time welder? You just learned how to pick that skill up. And there you go. You've just created a new source of income. And I mean, it's just as simple as that. But I think that when in this article, it missed out on that, learn something new, because I think that creates opportunities.
Yeah, I think for me, another one is to learn how to fill gaps. Yeah, as in, like, let's continue like with basketball, right? So in basketball, there's 5 positions, there's 5 players on the team.
Yeah.
Right. If I have like a really good shooting guard or point guard like Curry, right, that for the next draft, I'm not going to get another shooting guard or point guard because I already have that, right?
Yeah.
I'll probably need more of a power forward. I'll probably need more. And if you don't know what these like positions are, that's okay. But I'm just saying that there's 5 people.
Yeah.
If I have Curry, I don't need another Curry.
Yeah.
I need someone else to help him out, to either go down the line, because he can shoot threes all day. He can shoot outside the half court. I don't care. If I have him, I don't need him again, right? Well, it would be good to have him. There's other positions to fill. If I need someone that can do a better way of defending, right, whatever it is, I need to find those gaps. So, and the reason why I say that is because you may be on the trajectory of a certain career. You may have like a specific position in mind that you want to do, but then you find other people that are already in that position and you still want to join a team. What the best way to do it is to fill the gaps they're not doing, right? So if someone's not interfacing with the customer enough, then you can do that, right? If someone isn't taking like meeting notes and that's like a requirement, then you can do that, right? And some of these things aren't like the most like sexy or nice or things to do, but they're ways to provide opportunities for you and increase the companies, the teams, the people that you're around, stuff like that, just to increase the value that's around there.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. That definitely is something that can help you out. Going along with that, when you say fill in the gaps, that's the same as like doing the jobs that no one else wants to do. Yeah, right. Yeah, because to me, that's what that fill in the gap is. That, like, maybe no one wants to do that job, or no one has the talent for that job, right? And then that fill in the gap is, so that's awesome, man. I like that one. Yeah. All right, man. Looks like we're down to our frugal and cheap. Yeah. So this one I was thinking about my wife. And also as an opportunist, right? Extreme couponing, right? Yeah. Getting everything for free.
I hope she doesn't listen to this.
Everything. Sometimes she doesn't get everything for free, but she gets it really cheap. Like she, for a while, she was actually into couponing, where it was this actually, in a sense, awesome for us, but then also becomes a burden because she finds like too much stuff. Like she ended up getting to a point where she had to start donating some of the things that she was getting when it came to personal care items or laundry or soaps, all these different things, right? Like she would actually get this stuff for free. I remember one NCO, like he was like, man, your wife's gonna go to jail, man. All that stuff she's stealing. But it was actually pretty funny because I had to show. I was like, man, look at this. Like she'll send me pictures, like especially while we were deployed. Like she'll send me pictures. Look at all the stuff she got, and that's what he said there.
So funny because I've seen like shows on it too where they'll do like the extreme couponing and like where people are like where the store actually ends up paying them. I don't know if that's actually a thing because from when I used to work in a grocery store and it would have coupons, you'd have to pay attention to them as in like it's like one per transaction or one per customer per transaction, something like that. So like like stacked up on them too many times. And I think it's because people were doing that, right? Like they were just like stacking on the coupons. Like, well, I got like these 3 coupons to basically make this thing free, or you end up rolling me. And I was like, and that's crazy. Like, I mean, like I used to coupon a lot, or my parents, so they used to coupon, but I mean, I don't know if we ever got that good at it.
Yeah. She was actually into that. Like, I don't even know if they still do it the same way, where newspapers, where they would have all these coupons in there.
Yeah, they do.
Like, yeah. So she would actually go, she would go buy newspapers and get all these coupons. And and that's how she would actually end up getting, because so when you have, what do you call it, like a grocery store or something like that, and they do double and triple coupons, like,
they stack them.
Yeah, so they allow it, and then you just, that's what you do. Is you constantly do it till like you get this group of things, like literally for nothing, like $5. I bought $50 worth of stuff for $5, like stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, but it's nice to say it sometimes becomes something you don't actually need.
Yeah.
You don't even use. They're like so I need all this laundry detergent. I ain't even got this much laundry.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it ended up, all this stuff. But yeah, no. So I don't know. For me, I think that could be used in a frugal way. Depends on, I guess the perspective of someone else, right? Like some people don't have the time or the patience to do all that, to go and sit there and look through newspapers and clip coupons.
Yeah.
And then
I think that's just the time commitment portion is what would kind of put me on the fence between frugal and cheap.
Yeah.
How much time are you actually committing to get these coupons?
Yeah.
Stuff like that, where, and granted, nowadays they have like apps that you can get coupons and stuff like that. So, but even then, like trying to find coupons or even like finding those specific products, like, does it really like save you money if you're getting like all the name brand stuff versus like, say you were to just get to the generic stuff like Great Value or like here at H&B you got Hill Country Fair, stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess it would be one of those things on the fence, but I'll still call it frugal, even though, it can be time consuming. Cause and then that's like say the stores going across town. Yeah. And
one only works at certain stores. Like,
exactly.
Like Aldi's or Albertsons, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, okay. All right, man. You want to close us out?
Yes, sir. Just want to thank everyone for listening to Troubleshooting Life podcast. This is Craig and Jay signing off. Please like and subscribe and share it out to anyone that you think would benefit from it. We'll see you next week.
All right. See you next week.